Hey everyone, I'm Dan Vo, first generation Vietnamese American born in San Jose, California. I'm a 16-year-old junior at Monte Vista High and the only child in the family. Well, if you don't count my dog Mimi. Everyone has something they stand by or value, and that is something that makes them unique. You may be wondering, what value do I live by? Well, let's take a look. Michael Jordan once said, "Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it." That is the myth I live by. Let's look at how my value was created and developed over the years I shared in Cupertino. I moved from Sunnyvale to Cupertino the summer before 6th grade at Kennedy Middle School. Oh, middle school. The days when we didn't have to care about SATs, finals, and college apps. Middle school was also when I started watching the National Basketball Association, or more commonly known as the NBA. Ever since the last week of 8th grade when I watched the 2010 NBA Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers against the Boston Celtics with my friends, I've been a diehard fan of the NBA. Go Celtics! Similar to how three-time MVP and NBA champion LeBron James faced hardships in his journey to become part of the pantheon of the NBA's elite, and more recently winning an NBA title, I faced much stress, disappointment, and motivation to reach where I am today. Watching the NBA has increased my belief that as long as someone works hard and fights through any obstacle that slows them down, they'll be able to make it to the top. High school is when life started to get harder. I see high school as like the NBA playoffs. Everyone is competing to be at the top, and there's not much room for mistakes. If you do make mistakes, you can get back up, but if you go in too deep, you have a much lesser probability to make it to the top. This part of my life is called stockpile. Unlike most kids, I was actually looking forward to high school because of the opportunity of being able to be placed in a more open environment and meeting more people. However, as time progressed between the semesters, the pile of work grew bigger and bigger. SAT books, finals, and the thought of what college I was going to all came up so fast. I began to wonder if I could keep up with all the work that was filling up my desk at home. There was a period during my sophomore year when I wasn't doing very well in a few of my classes, which resulted in me doubting that I would be able to get out of my slump and kept making me think that I might not get into a good college. This slump resulted in procrastination and not really caring much about raising my grades anymore because of the multiple mistakes that I was making. There was this one time during my sophomore year when I came home from school after a hard day of seeing my test score in Spanish 3, and also messing up on my group's skit in Spanish 3 by forgetting the history of Cantabria, which affected my group's total score. I was lying on the couch that night, and my mom came home and sat next to me. She told me her story of how she came to the United States from Vietnam 25 years ago and found a way past her obstacles. My mom explained to me how she came to the United States after losing a brother and going into an environment that she wasn't familiar with. She barely understood English, let alone speak it. That didn't stop her from reaching for the top. She graduated from college. She became a successful engineer at Sandisk Corporation for 12 straight years, and now she's currently a successful real estate agent in Cupertino and San Jose. She completed all of these achievements while having to take care of me and my grandparents. That is what really inspires me to work hard. That is what it means to not turn around and give up, to figure out how to climb over your obstacles, go through your obstacles, or work around them. Ever since my mom told me her story, I've constantly used it as a reminder for motivation. Her story has been really helping me out so far in my junior year. I've been more easygoing with my friends, and I've been able to keep my grades at an acceptable level without much stress. Whenever I'm complaining about school or how hard my classes are, I remind myself of my mom's story of passing her obstacles. I feel the need to explain. I don't even need a reason I claim. All I really needed was the beat and a sheet and a pen. I'ma be okay. Hey, back then I wouldn't know shit. Except this hip hop, now it's switch. Did it for the fact that I could've put her in the pad. Ain't no looking back, I'ma put it past. Get back to the past at a time when I had a better grasp. Better believe I'm getting back. Forgetting the reason I'm attached, but it ain't for Christina. She's just a As for where I'm headed in the future, well, my goal is to graduate from a 4-year college with at least a master's degree. Maybe I can become an ESPN analyst or work in business just like my mom. I may not be so sure about what awaits me in the future, but what I am sure about in the future is that I will always follow my personal myth. Whenever there's an obstacle, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it.
That's gonna be a minute long also. Stop, hey, it's gonna money.
I think we gotta restart.